Good morning, and welcome to Monday, the 22nd of June. I hope everyone had an amazing solstice yesterday, and that was at 6:24 when the sun moved into Cancer, and oof, how full on was it? I don't know about you guys, but I definitely had a profound experience. It was freaking amazing. And I think it's also like the combination of, I got hit. Well, I didn't get hit, but I had such an amazing understanding about Chiron in Taurus. It was like, so, and I think with the addition of the sun moving into Cancer, so we get all of those ancestral connections and our family of origin, our early childhood conditions, the way we nurture, how we give and receive love, our mothers. So, oh, actually, let me do the thing where people can talk to me. There we go. So yeah, it was pretty amazing, and I got the message to call to pull a Susan. Good morning, Helen. Oh, Mercury. Ah, there she is. There you go, Susan. I got the message that I had to pull a card, a solstice card for everybody with this lovely Susan cards. Good morning, Louise. Yeah, Mercury retrograde is doing its thing big time. We've still got another 8 days. So let's just pull this so I can just there we go. What is this? Oh, Cosmic Q. Oh my gosh, absolutely. All right. Wait for your cue from the universe. Stay focused on your goal. Kookaburra knows when the time is right to act. There we go. So we've got Kookaburra. I haven't heard any yet. It's freezing. We've got a mad frost. But leading into the words, and the connections just keep getting deeper. It might not be a complete story yet, but the origin point is obvious. There is potential here for deep healing, but also be cautious to keep your balance on what could be a rough journey ahead. Use your senses now to navigate the path that you are walking on. All right. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, like I said, now with Chiron in Taurus, I had an amazing. I went to the meeting for the South Coast Astrology one on with Christina Stargazer, and Karen from here was invited me, so that was awesome. But it was just interesting that it wasn't found until. Good morning, Christy. How are you? Now, Chiron wasn't found until the 1st of November, 1977. All right. And I just think this is just amazing. Now, Chris was saying that Thomas Muldoon had said that if you were born before Chiron's discovery, then it shouldn't be in your chart. And I'm just going to add to this that so Chiron, if we can give Chiron a natal chart and that's its discovery chart, Chiron's a Scorpio. Of course, Chiron's a Scorpio because Chiron wants you to dig deep to figure out what that wound is. And I think the fact that Chiron's now moved into Taurus, so for a lot of us, like what was happening for you in 1977, right? Now, I was born in 1974, and my wound, all right, was created on the 6th of October 1977. All right. So the fact that Chiron was discovered, or like it was on the templates. They could, it wasn't until they went backwards, they retrograded over their film, that they saw that they had in fact been monitoring it, but they didn't give it its name until then. So it was discovered in Taurus. It is a Scorpio, right? So it's got a Scorpio sun in the 10th house. So this has got something to do with our public persona, our authority, what the purpose of our life. Sort of, it gets deeper, obviously, but it's conjunct Uranus in the 11th house. All right, so it's Chiron. The sun for the Chiron chart is in the 10th, but Uranus is conjunct Mercury in the 11th. All right. It's also got a Cancer moon conjunct Jupiter with a Sagittarius ascendant, which is conjunct the galactic center. A whole lot of mumbo jumbo right there. But my point is that Chiron it is a magical thing, all right? There is the underworld aspect to this. Chiron was in constant pain, and it is a pain that never quite leaves, all right? So our wound is something that we will always have, but we can become a master of pain management. All right. Now that Uranus Mercury conjunction is fabulous. Uranus and Mercury together equal astrology, but in that 11th house space, it is also allowing both of those in Scorpio too. So it allows the collective to look higher, to go deeper, to figure out what the purpose of it was. Now, Jupiter conjunct the moon in Cancer, there is an aspect of compassion and caring and wisdom, all right, that collective or familiar ancestral wisdom that is there as well. So, generally, um, now it was when it came through, it was in the fourth house, all right. So, Chris said the fifth house, but the chart I've got says Chiron was in the fourth with the South Node in the fourth. Generally, our wounds are going to come from our family. All right. Now, if you weren't born in 19, if you were born after 1977, it's something that's integrated in your chart. Like I was saying, for a lot of us, that discovery, for me, so relevant. Like 3 weeks before its discovery was when my wound was created. So, so the fact that its ascendant is the galactic center, all right, this is the universe going, we all have a wound. We must look beyond, above, up, in. Like we've got to find that. And the way we find it, Chiron's not in Aries anymore. It's not about I am. It's not about me anymore. It's about our senses. All right. So what did that wound do to your senses? All right. So maybe, maybe that wound, um, when you experience that, excuse me, something got stuck within. All right, that's just general. Like Chiron's wound was a arrow in the foot. All right, and then he was just that was it. He was in pain all the time. Morning, DG. How are you? So again, again, Cancer. All right, this is about our nurturing. Chiron's only here until it goes back in next year, but it's only here until the 18th of September. All right, so where can you find that place within you that carries that seed or that speck of sand that becomes a pearl of wisdom? And in this period of time, how can you go within to sense what it is that needs to be healed? And then again, the moon's in Libra today. So, which is why I wrote that, using your senses, because it might be a bit of a balancing act to find that path and not fall over and hurt yourself even more. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right. That's enough for the Chiron stuff. But I just think over these next couple of weeks, please reach out if you need any assistance in finding out or connecting in with it. All right. I literally understand it completely now. I went into it. I understand it. I get it. And yeah, and again, I'm all Scorpio. I'm all Chiron. I'm it. So not like, you know, over the top, but I can fully get it. So if you need help with that, please reach out. All right, back to today. All right, so at 8 o'clock, we had the moon in Libra square the sun in Cancer. All right, so we've got this cardinal square. It's the beginning of the season, all right, but this tension that is created, it's also about pattern breaking. All right, so here's here's the segue from Chiron into today's moon, because we are just all reenacting patterns. All right, that's what we do. All right, but the tension that the sun is creating today with the moon, it's allowing us to see where those patterns come from and then break them, because we want balance in our life now. So that was first of all the moon. All right, so we've already had that square. Now, next of all, we have the moon in Libra trine Uranus in Gemini at 1 p.m. If we can continue to navigate navigate our way through this, then it's the changing mental perspective that we are, again, Libra is air, Uranus in Gemini is air. All right. So accepting or feeling the tension, understanding where it is within you by using your senses, and connecting the dots back to the that like I said, the story might not be complete, but the origin point is understood. Okay. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Amy. How are you? So we've got that 1 o'clock. We might have some more cognitive understanding about it, and you have to continue to work, all right, because patterns have been alive. Patterns are their own consciousness, all right. They don't want to be set aside for new ones to come in. They will fight for their survival as well, all right. That's just the habit. We need to recreate habits all week, all from this point onwards. So 3 p.m. there's an opposition to Neptune. So here is that belief system, and you can witness it. But again, the opposition is time for like a full moon. It's time to let go, to release. But it's also where you're facing something. All right, that moon in Libra is just facing that Neptune in Aries, and it's like, is that belief what I feel comfortable with now? Like, am I feeling balanced, or am I feeling a little bit out of whack? Looking at that thing that I have believed for so long, and no, okay, that's where you use Uranus to shift your perspective. All right, now 4:30, trine to Pluto. This is awesome. All right. So if you continue the work going all day, this week is going to be tricky. All right. So we're in Libra now. We've just had the solstice. We've got Chiron. We've got Scorpio moon coming on Wednesday. All right. So, we're heading into these trickier types of energies. So we just need to make sure that we're very aware of our feelings and where our mind and thoughts are going, because we can bring ourselves back. All right, so 4:30, the moon is trine Pluto in Aquarius, again air. All right, so Pluto is going to bring up the clarity and the truth, and possibly some shadows. It might, there might be some light shed on the shadows a bit. It is a trine, there is a flow, there is some visual sort of light being shone here. All right, so don't fear the darkness. Again, we're just using the tension to change our awareness, witness our old beliefs, so that we can clarify what it is we're experiencing, and then we're just gonna keep working on it. All right, so after 4 o'clock, there is an opposition to Saturn starting. Now that's exact at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And so for tomorrow, I've I've written, sometimes you just have to face the consequences of your actions. Now, your life choices are the things that is going to decree what those outcomes are. So, if you have been working hard, then Saturn will give you rewards. If you have been ignoring the signs, then there might be some harder lessons on their way. Again, it's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, if you can see a lesson as oh wow, I really needed that at this time, then it's not going to be as hard or savage as what it potentially could be with Saturn. All right. And then after 7, we have a sextile to Venus starting. All right. So I just think by the end of the day, all right, there is going to be, I think it's a day that needs work done. All right. Now, so to move over to the sun is squaring Neptune. All right. So we do have that challenge to our old beliefs. However, it is also trine. All right. So an easy flow with the North Node. We can hear what the universe is asking us to move towards. And then there is a sextile to the South Node. All right. So that is good for the whole, like all of them, these outer planet action that we are experiencing, it's bigger than us. All right, so taking it back to that Chiron wound and the Cancer energy, this is a lineage type of thing. These are sometimes if I can look at Wednesday, these are the traumas and triggers that were handed to us, not necessarily just from our own parents either. I've spoken about the test that they did on mice with honeysuckle. All right, so they had a family and they tortured the mouse, but they made it smell honeysuckle at the same time. All right, so that mouse associated trauma with the smell. Now, that mouse went on to have generations of babies. Now, that next generation smelt honeysuckle, completely traumatized. And as it went down the generations, those pups were still reactive to the smell. Going back to my point being that some of the things that you're going to be dealing with are not yours, they're not your parents. They can be up to, I thought it was four, but I did hear someone say seven generations. Don't know about that one. However, it's just proving that, like we're not just working with our own stuff, but the fact that we're aware that we have stuff to work with, that's where the healing and the beauty comes in. All right, so Cancer Sun, family, and the mother. All right, so mother wounds are going to be especially relevant to be working on, and that includes our own mother wound. Like if if Taurus, all right, Chiron in Taurus, do you feel unworthy? All right, I mean, Chiron in Taurus is going to be, I reckon there's going to be more uh, food, or I mean, food security is going to be just as important, especially with Uranus has already mucked it all up. But not only just self-worth, but things like eating disorders. Eating disorders are when your life is that out of control. Eating is one of the only things you can control. All right, so there's that pressure, there is control, there is nurturing, not feeling worthy of receiving nurturing. All right, so food issues will come up. Um, there's just so many things, there's just so many things, and I'm a little bit sort of overwhelmed this morning. But yeah, so I just think, we're getting closer and closer, and there's a lot of wisdom available this week. Mercury conjunct Jupiter, again, both of those in Cancer. All right, so really sort of start to ponder your experience and look at those traumas through the lens of that's not my pattern. All right, that's just something that I was given, that now that I can identify it, I can just see it for what it is. Yes, I had life lessons that might have been hard when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I can look at those life lessons and go, oh my God, the wisdom that they gave me. So I will draw, I know, like for those that came later, I drew Susan's Cosmic Cues card, which is Kookaburra. So waiting for your cue from the universe, stay focused on your goal. Kookaburra knows when the time is right to act. So that is just so in alignment. I've even got a little message at the bottom of my page here saying this energy is like an elastic band that is ready to catapult or snap. All right, so if you are feeling that tension, just maybe exercise or try to do something physical to get rid of the frustration. All right, so depending on how you're feeling, remember that you can utilize energy in different ways. All right, so if you're all fucked up here, do something about it. Put music on, sing a song, write your journal, do something to just shift the space. So the card I'm going to draw here, actually, sorry, they said no, that didn't feel right. That did not feel right at all. All right, here we go. Okay. That energy shift was just so completely full on. Have to say I'm completely grateful, sitting in a really nice space today. Oh, DG, I'm here for you if you need a chat later, darling. All right. If you're feeling that abandonment, potentially, all right, when males leave, what happens, DG? What do we automatically feel when, what do we automatically feel when we're abandoned? There we go. All right, I know I connected deeply into my original abandonment wound, and I feel like I did a healing on it backwards and forwards. All right. So, in my experience, I just sat there in it and I've got Reiki 1 and 2. I never use it, but I did last night. I turned on my Reiki and I just visualized healing the whole timeline, like backwards, forwards, fucking, and everybody that was related and relevant to that wound. All right. So again, it doesn't have the same hold now, you know? Oh my gosh. All right. Look, ladies, you know what? This is a time where we can deal with these issues and nurture ourselves, okay? So Tash, it's hard, but you know, in this world where we're expected or we expect to have people around us, being alone is hard. I know it takes a little bit, but yeah, I don't like being alone in certain circumstances. So I really have to work on it and reach out when I need people. So I feel like that's a lot. All right. So again, if anybody does need to, get stuff off their chest or just a debrief a little bit, I'm going to be working a lot with Chiron in Taurus in these next couple of weeks. So you will make this work, DG. You are a wise woman, right? You got this. We've all got this. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you have a fabulous day.